You can't give what you don't have. When you are talking about integrity, you are really talking about the real person, who that person is.
When you talk of integrity, you talk of honesty. To be honest. And to be honest means to be trustworthy, to be truthful. And politics is science and art of government.
Politics is about the people.
Yes.
And if you talk about it in a deeper sense, it has to do with how people take decisions on how to lead themselves.
Good day, viewers. We are happy to be with you again. This is your usual program, Christians in Politics, coming to you from Anglican Cable Network Nigeria, ACNN. Today, we are going to be looking at Osun elections and its outcome, and we will also look at 2019 general election. How prepared are we? And we want to start by commending the election umpire, that is INEC, for the way they conducted the Osun governorship election. There is a paradigm shift from what happened in the Ekiti governorship election, and some of the highlights of this shift is the reduction of vote buying. I think Mahmoud Yakubu lived up to his word on that matter, with the policy of not using phone at the point where you are to print in the booth, so that no one can snap and go and collect money later. Then another major effort that was made is in the tracking of vehicles which conveyed electoral materials, so that none of the materials will go to the wrong destination. I think, as usual, the INEC have been doing so well on this now. That is early arrival of her officials, and of course another major development was the inclusion of the physically challenged persons, especially the use of tactile ballot,
which enable those who are visually impaired to vote without requiring somebody to assist them. I think we should raise our thumb for INEC, and we are trusting that they will continue to improve, and that 2019 general election we meet the expectation and of Nigerians, and be better than any other election that have ever been conducted in this country. That is not to say that Osun governorship election have no issue. We are all aware of that the election was declared inconclusive because Senator Adeleke of the PDP and Boyega Oyetola of the APC, that of the vote for Senator Adeleke was a little bit higher than that of Boyega of APC, and about 7 polling units were cancelled, and now we are expecting that on Thursday, the 27th of September, there's going to be a rerun. So we'll be looking at all these fallout from Osun election, the positive, the negative. We learned the PDP are already protesting. In fact, they have even gone to court to challenge the decision of the election umpire. All this we are going to look at, and I have eminent gentlemen in the studio with me who will help us to throw light into this. On my immediate left is Engineer Uche Okoli, one of the legislative aides at the National Assembly. Mr. Uche.
Thank you.
Nice to have you today.
My pleasure to be here.
Okay. Then on my extreme left, we have Brother Tu, a public affairs analyst, and is in the person of Dr. Henry Ewunonu. I think he's also a familiar face in this studio. Dr. Henry, thank you very much for coming.
Good day, viewers. Thank you for having me.
It's nice to have you again, and I really appreciate making time to be with us in the studio. I think Nigerians want to hear from you, your own perception about Osun election. And let me start with the legislation. Now, before I start, let's quickly look at a video clip. Then that will set the tone.
We've had about 50 observers throughout Osun yesterday and different LGAs throughout the state observing conditions. I think at this point, as the votes are being tallied and INEC is doing their work and bringing out the results and announcing LGA by LGA, the most important thing is we let INEC do its work. They are moving forward in a positive way. I think that this is going to be a very close election. I think we all see that. It's going to come down to a very small margin. And I think one of the things we need to do is let the process go forward, let the democratic process go forward with different parties and candidates, raising any concerns they have, but to do that through the legal process and for the result to be peaceful. I think my number one message on behalf of the U.S. Embassy is just we request and urge all supporters to be peaceful as this process moves forward. This is part of democracy, and we in the United States have had very close elections too, but urge people to be peaceful and to respect the result as it comes out in the time ahead.
The state of Osun was ready. The state of Osun have demonstrated ability to abide by the rules, and so far we've seen a very exciting and encouraging behavior in terms of people coming out to exercise their franchise, cast their votes, and be part of those who will enthrone democratic governance and governance in this part of the country.
By 7 o'clock, all our polling units are set, and our people are ready. People turnout too is high. They came early.
According to the election guidelines, where the margin of win between two leading candidates is not in excess of the total number of registered voters of the polling units where elections were cancelled, a candidate or a party may not be returned. From the analysis of results that we have, the difference between the two leading parties is just 353. And the number of voters in units where elections were cancelled is 3,498. To that effect, unfortunately, as a returning officer, it's not possible to declare any party as the clear winner of this election on the first ballot. I, Joseph Adiola Fuagbe, hereby declare this election inconclusive. Thank you.
I don't think INEC has displayed any act of bias in the decision they have taken. Although there are some legal arguments that the guidelines they stick to and they follow to declare the elections inconclusive are not instant laws as enshrined in the Constitution. PDP or APC or whatever the party may be, provided INEC has come to declare the elections inconclusive because of that provision, because of that proviso that was made in their guidelines, that where the gap, the difference between the two contending candidates is not or is less than the votes cancelled as a result of maybe one or two issues in polling units, then the result will be inconclusive. The winner or the one who has scored the highest vote, like in this case the PDP candidate, cannot be declared winner. That is their guideline. And provided they are able to follow it, I think it's a good thing they have done, because what we have been suffering in this country as regards election is not following the rule. But this one, they are following the rule. So anybody who has anything against what INEC has done should go to the court for a better interpretation of what the guidelines were, and with a view to maybe correcting them in case of next time. But INEC has done the right thing for now.
We have hope on INEC, of course, because the era of, in political politicking based on whom bring money more than another has gone.
Yeah, the video we just watched is the reaction of all the stakeholders in the I will say just concluded Osun governorship election. The election is still running because it was declared inconclusive. You saw the reaction of the police, the reaction of people, international election observers, the reaction of domestic observers and other stakeholders. Now, let me start with the legislative aid in the National Assembly, because you are more or less a politician. So, what can you say about the outcome? No, I want to start with you.
Public analyst.
No, I want to start with you so that Dr. Henry will know where to tackle the matter.
I'm already an interested party in the matter, of course. My party was involved in the election. Well, I think, generally speaking...
no, that is why I brought you in, because yes, PDP were protesting, and I know that you belong to PDP.
Oh, yes, I'm a card-carrying member. First of all, we must commend the election umpire, which is INEC. I think they did a better job than what we saw in the Ekiti governorship election that happened about a month ago, thereabouts. We've seen a departure from what it used to be. Before now, you hear stories of at 10, 11, sometimes up to noon, midday. They're still waiting to see INEC officials. Or you hear they took materials that meant to be in location A, it found itself in location B, C, and all that. But thank God, it's a new dawn from what we saw in Osun State. Materials got there in good time. The officials were there early enough, and most importantly, it was generally peaceful. We must give it to the Osun people. And then you see, this is what we keep talking about. Democracy is about the people. It's not about the individuals. It's not about the politicians or about INEC. It boils down to the people. If the people come out to say, this is how we want it, it stays. The people were told to, you vote, you stay peaceful, no violence, make sure you vote and then stay back and ensure that your votes count. And but unfortunately, it turned out the way it is. Yes, I had people talk about guidelines. What we know about the laws of the land, any law or any guideline or any legal document or legal framework that runs counter to the Constitution of the Federal Republic cannot stand. What the Constitution says is simple. You must get 1/3 into 2/3 of the local government. The question is, was that fulfilled by our candidates? Yes, it was. But I think, generally speaking, I guess we'll get to that in the course of our discussion. But generally, the election was peaceful. It was, to a great extent, credible. But the outcome left a lot of questions unanswered. If you say an election is inconclusive and you have declared results on all of the 30 local governments, I mean, you concluded elections. That's my personal opinion.
No, the declaration was hung on the particular issue. It's also a policy in INEC that if the number of votes that are cancelled are far more than the number of votes with which a particular candidate is presumed to have won the opponent, then the election should be declared inconclusive. The wisdom in it, I think, is that they assume that if all those cancelled votes if the people are given opportunity to vote again, because the number is higher, it's possible that it can change the outcome or further swell the victory of the person.
What if we have further cancellation? What happens? We have another supplementary elections.
Yeah. I don't think there's a law against that.
No, but you see, the point is this. What does the Constitution say? INEC guideline or policy or whatever they call it is subject to the Constitution. There's no contest about that.
Yeah.
Like I asked, if they go on Thursday, the 27th of September, for supplementary elections, and this 3,498 from the affected areas, well, what if we get there and then for some reason it didn't go well, they had to cancel. They fix another supplementary elections.
Maybe the doctrine of necessity will be invoked. Mr. just only Nigeria have a way of solving their problems. So, Dr. Henry, do you share his view, and what is your general opinion about the Osun governorship election that is still ongoing?
My first statement is that I am not a politician, but I'm a Nigerian citizen.
You're an interested party.
Yes, and what is my interest? My interest is that I want my country to move forward. I want us to get better from this position of, an overgrown baby. We say everything. Oh, Nigeria has the biggest, the largest population, biggest black nation on earth. The television network is the largest. Everything about us is
extra large.
But how functional are we?
That is easy.
So, you see, I want my country to move forward. Like I was listening to one television presenter yesterday. He said, by and large, what has happened is that lack of action of INEC, their either refusal or negligence of invoking these guidelines, implementing the present guideline that they're invoking now in the case of Osun governorship election, perhaps in the last election in Kogi, just in August this year. They are the reasons. This is the reason that has empowered critics, the opposition, to now say, where has this guideline been since? But like I'm saying, I am in this program to represent the people. I'm not from Osun State, but I will speak like an Osun State indigene.
Okay, we are permitted to be an Osun indigene today.
Where does all this lead? Take the Osun citizen to, or indigene to. Election will be concluded by Thursday. Unlike my friend who is entertaining some pessimism, this election will be concluded on Thursday.
Yes.
I pray, and that should be the prayer of the church, that this election will be properly concluded, a winner emerged, declared properly, or should people will start picking their pieces once more. I am here to represent one of those 30,000, one of those civil servants who is being owed 30 months' salary. I'm here to represent one of those pensioners who for 46 months has not received a dime. I'm here to represent one of those citizens who, in the midst of abject poverty, I went to Osun State sometime, I think in July or so this year. I saw poverty wearing hand gloves and looking for who to shake.
Did you shake any of them?
Poverty, brazen poverty, where people were eating leftovers from, of course, after the whole one day of what I went to, where people were busy. They came with their nylon bags to pack. I'm not saying that other states are better, but I'm here today to voice out the disappointment, the disillusionment. These people who have been impoverished by misgovernance and which this election perhaps would have given them opportunity to, if not for activities of politicians, which my friend is representing. We have heard that politicians are buying votes. Yesterday we heard that politicians will give you somebody money, a voter money, and say jump over this then gone type of oath-taking ceremony.
Reverend Peter, you can speak to us now.
I want to commend the INEC official in the election that has been done in Osun. This is a very big force to the British Empire. And I want to urge that we all play along as Christians or as individuals or irrespective of religious affiliation to support INEC, to support them so that all together we will all bring about true democracy in Osun State and even in the whole country in general. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you.
God bless you.
Peter is saying we should support INEC and we should pray along. So we are doing that, and but we should not stop just at supporting INEC in all those places where there will be a wrong. The people are encouraged to go out and go and vote again.
I was about concluding before the call came.
Yes.
That is all we are saying. But we want to remind INEC, you are there to help the people to speak through their votes. So denying the people the opportunity to take their own pound of flesh. I know as Christians we were asked not to revenge, but in the political world, I think it's time to tell politicians, some of them that are not doing well, you are not doing well. So don't deny. I don't know whether hellfire is compartmentalized, but if it is, the hottest part will be for this INEC official.
Why?
Whether the national chairman, the ones electoral officers, the ones that are tearing ballot papers, result sheets, removing from this thing, wherever they are, that very hot part of hellfire will be for you if you don't allow Osun people to express their anger.
Okay, I thank God you said will be. No, I thought you have already sentenced INEC official, and I wanted to say no because now I wanted to say no because the policy they are invoking has actually been in existence.
Yes, it has been.
And we have always clamored for improvement.
Yes.
We have clamored for change.
Yes.
There was public uproar.
My man used the last words you used, change.
Yeah.
Don't go to Wuse Market and use that word. You will be more.
So we have been advocating that INEC should change and improve in what they are doing. So if this time they want to follow all the rules to the letter, fine. But how they conclude, how they land on Thursday is what will determine whether we'll be talking about hellfire for some. But there's one particular one, officer, which I agree with you, is like that one is already on his way to hell because he confessed that a senior official of INEC asked him or her to tore the result sheet, and that one was a very sad one. Now, Uche, he was talking about, if I could get Dr. Henry, he's trying to say that Osun people were trying to maybe register their feelings about what has been happening in Osun State. Do you share that? Is that why the margin between PDP and APC is so narrow?
Well, you see, my heart goes out to the people of Osun State. They've been subjected to a whole lot of pain, a whole lot of hardship. They've been dehumanized in the last couple of years of this misrule, as evidenced by the present government in Osun State. How can you owe people for 30 months? That's inhuman. That's wicked. I mean, there's no better definition of wickedness. We read in the media that about 19 billion or so was released to Osun State to help them offset, in quotes, some of the salaries. We know what that was intended to achieve.
No, many people have interpreted that to mean inducement.
Well, thank God you're using that language. Some say there was no vote buying. Yes, there was no obvious vote buying on the day of election like we saw in Ekiti State. But there were some under the table approach towards that. You owe me for 30 months, and on the eve of election, you are paying me for 1 month or 2 months. I mean, what does that clearly interpret to mean?
That is where the electorates need to be aware and need to be more conscious now.
That's why I said my heart goes out. A hungry man does not have a conscience. A hungry man does not have a conscience.
But a hungry man should be reasonable.
A hungry man cannot reason. A hungry man, his brain is as good as dead. All he wants is food for the belly. It's just like asking an anemic to donate blood. My friend here is a medical doctor. Yeah. How do you ask an anemic to donate blood? Is it possible? So, the people of Ekiti have been subjected to...
Osun.
Osun, I'm sorry. The people of Osun have been subjected to the worst form of inhuman treatment and the degradation. So, they've lost their sense of reasoning. They've lost their sense of consciousness. Anything. I mean, so if not, there's no basis, there's no reason on earth why Osun electorate should vote for APC. Absolutely no reason. The workers, the pensioners, nothing. But like I said, a hungry man does not have conscience. He cannot reason. So, on the eve of election, you see a lot on your phone. With all the pessimism in the world, you walk to the bank and check, and there's money in your account.
For me, that should be more reason why such an individual, if he still reasons, should not even...
if
he still reasons, should not, because what that one will show to me is that, oh, so this money is even there, and you kept it.
Remember what he said?
This time.
He went to Osun, and at the event, people came to scavenge.
Dr. Henry didn't shake hand with poverty.
People came to scavenge leftover. Now, somebody who goes to a party to scavenge leftover,
yes,
is that person reasoning? Is there any conscience in such action? Is there any honor? If you are hungry, you lose all honor. A hungry man does not have honor. Just like a sick man dying on the sick bed, the person does not have honor. Whatever the doctor says do, you go ahead and do. So it is with hungry people. But thank God, like the campaign slogan for Senator Adeleke, Imole Day, what that means is a new dawn, a new beginning. And by the grace of God, this will be the anthem in Osun State in the days ahead. The supplementary poll election on Thursday is just a confirmation of the lead by PDP.
But are you aware of what the information that is getting to some of us? Because
yes,
even on my way to the studio,
getting to the legal.
I got it reliably. Apart from the I'm not talking about even the legal perspective now, because for me, that legal action may not really hold sway, because I'm very well aware of the policy that INEC stood upon to declare this election inconclusive. As an election observer, I know all the rules. Now, but the point I'm saying is that do you really hope that PDP will be able to, with what is going on, we learn that heavy money is exchanging hands in Osun because of this Thursday
all
election.
The money that exchanged hands before Saturday election, yet APC didn't carry the day. All the money, all the billions that went into Osun that was supposed to sway the people's opinion
in the
favor of APC, didn't achieve the results. Even if they throw in 100 billion to less than 4,000 voters who will be taking part in Thursday's supplementary election, it won't change anything. It's a new dawn for Osun State, and nothing will change that.
Okay, I think Dr. we will hold on there. When we come back, we'll continue from there. We want to go on break now, and viewers want to let you know that you are free to call in, and you can follow this program on Facebook handle and other platforms. So let us know your view about the discussion. So we'll be right back.
The Anglican Cable Network Nigeria, ACNN, is your most reliable gospel TV station that brings to you quality TV programming which build your spiritual life and enhance your walk with God through the undiluted Word of God. Join us on our social media platforms anytime you miss your favorite program. Subscribe to our YouTube channel with the address www.youtube.com/ACNNTV and click that video that matters to you.
Protect your vote is a euphemistic way of saying do everything to make sure you can share blood, you can kill, to ensure that the person you voted for is the one that emerged as winner at the end of the day.
There is never a dull moment on our Facebook page, as we are dedicated to keep you informed with the up-to-date news about the church and other information. Just log on to www.facebook.com/ACNNTV, for you can now watch some of our programs live on your mobile device. Follow us on Twitter with the handle @ACNNTV.com, and you'll be glad you did. So now, there is no longer regret each time you miss any episode of your favorite programs, as you can now watch them on the go, anytime, anywhere. ACNN. We are indeed reaching the world with the undiluted Word of God.
Viewers, we welcome you back from the break, and we are still discussing the ongoing Osun election, governorship election, which was declared inconclusive, and the rerun that will be coming up on Thursday. And also we are going to look, especially in this second part of this program, we're going to be looking at 2019 general election, and how prepared are Nigerians for it, and so many other. We look at it from different angles. And still with me in the studio is Dr. Henry Ewunonu, who is a public affairs analyst. He's a practicing doctor of high repute. It's just that he feels that he cannot just stay in the four corners of the hospital and be treating patients, whereas the tension outside is bringing more patients. So we want to, Dr. Henry, happy to know that you are still with us. Then also we have Engineer Uche Okoli, which is one of the legislative aides in the National Assembly. It's nice to...
Second Niger break.
So now, let me start with Dr. Henry. Yes. 47,843 votes, which is about 6% of the total vote cast, was voided, cancelled in this Osun election. Now, do you think Nigeria electorates are aware? Now, before you answer, Babatunde is calling from Abuja. Babatunde, you can take the floor.
Well done, Venerable, and Mr. Uche and the doctor. I commend all of you.
Thank you
very much.
Concerning the governorship election in Osun State, PDP should not be afraid. Even on that Thursday, they will still win. Because what actually happened on Saturday was that the people that came to these 7 units they want to do the run on Thursday, all about 320 of them, they have been they have come to the polling units to cast their vote. But unfortunately for the returning officer, in order to favor APC,
Babatunde, go on. Oh, we lost Babatunde. Babatunde was sounding more like a prophet, and I think his prophecy gladdened the heart of Geneuchi. Because he said the PDP should not be afraid that come Thursday, he's very sure that PDP will win. Now, so maybe we'll have Babatunde again if he's able to connect to us. But let Dr. Henry, I was talking about voters' education, general awareness. Why should 47,000 votes be voided?
Well, thank you, viewers. I'm glad this is participatory. I will answer that, but please spare me a few seconds to point this out. Osun people, you people have made a statement. No matter the outcome on Thursday, don't burn government resources. Don't burn down your state. Leave it for the courts to now interpret who is right or wrong. You have made a statement. You have said, despite the fact they said this man doesn't have certificate, they had F9 throughout. Give us this man. Is better than this one. In fact, if I am like the other parties, I will simply step down. It's not worth it. People have given their value. They have said we don't want you. For a party that is in government for 8 years, that is by the way. About voter education, enlightenment, it's a reflection of the degree or the extent, the depth of political education. You see, I started with saying that we claim to be the biggest in everything. It will shock you the percentage of illiterate people
now is having
in Osun State.
Okay.
I once went to Ibadan. We're given the premier university town since 1948. I was thinking that at least within Ibadan metropolis, there's nobody that will not be able to speak pidgin English. I was shocked. Most of the Okada riders are stark illiterates. So, going back to Osun, yes, the political parties must have done the education. Don't print here.
Have they? Because that, see, as an election observer, that is one of the things we have been harping on to INEC, the need to talk to political parties, because instead of doing the right thing during campaign, political parties are busy assassinating the character of the opponent. They are not talking about policies. They are not telling the electorate how to vote and why they should vote.
They do. They do.
We do.
Some of them, I think most of them do. But what happened is the person they are telling. Now, it may not be possible to do one-on-one with every voter.
Have you really seen?
Yes, I have seen.
Wait.
At rallies.
Have you seen any rally where a person speaking on a political podium, speaking on political podium says this is a sample of the ballot paper. This is our logo. This is where our something comes in. This is how you turn print. See, political education, parties have not done it enough. What they are busy doing is either dancing disco on the front and raising broom or raising umbrella.
No, venerable.
Venerable, I will disagree.
And tell me what you people. Just Henry, hold on. Let Uche tell me what the political parties have been doing in voters' education.
And again.
Yes.
When you go for rallies is not where you do the voter education. No, far from that. You don't go to the podium and begin to tell people. I mean, because the podium is far away from where the crowd of supporters are. So nobody will see where you say this. All you could tell them is, look, when you go to vote, our symbol is umbrella. That's the best you can do during rally. Thumbprints where do have the umbrella, like Bianca, or Sakahanu, or.
But can't you tell them in the rally not to operate across line?
The point is this:
and how to fold the
you have rally,
yes.
You have rally, and you have what they call canvassers.
Okay.
When you do your rally, you now send out your people who go to canvass for votes. It's at the point of canvassing for vote. You go with like a flyer that they,
are you saying your party have done enough in political?
I have been involved in such things. I'm not saying I'm not here to talk theories. This is something I have been involved.
What do you think accounts for?
Yeah.
See, why should
exactly? I'm coming to that.
47,000
I was coming to that.
Vote be voided.
You see, you give people flyers like a demo ballot paper.
Yes.
And you tell people where to thumbprint.
Yes.
Now you are telling your supporters, when you canvass for votes, vote where you see the umbrella. That is PDP. Now, and somebody goes there to thumbprint, and for some reason, especially it happens with old people, and your thumb shakes.
There is a caller from Asaba.
Okay.
Mr. Azuka, please speak up. Yes.
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you, Mr. Azuka.
Okay, please. I want to comment on what they are discussing. I want to tell the PDP man here that he will not be too sure of their victory, because you know that
he will not do what?
Not be too sure of victory.
Okay.
He should not be too sure
of
their victory. You know.
Okay.
They just have to make sure, on that very Thursday, they have to deploy all their men in all the polling units to be able to checkmate everything. These people, they have the money, they can do anything to get whatever they want. So don't be too sure. You people should do what people are supposed to do. Deploy all your men down there to monitor everything going on there. They can manipulate anyhow. So that's just my contribution.
Oh, thank you. That was a good
Mr.
one.
That is taken, and I believe our leaders are listening. The campaign is chaired by no mean a person, but the President of the Senate, His Excellency Dr. Olubukola Saraki. He's doing a good job at it, and for the sake of what he just said, he was in Osun State yesterday. Was in Ife in particular. He met with the person who we call the tiebreaker or the deal breaker. That's a Senator Iola Omishore.
Yeah.
They had some fruitful discussions, and I believe it will turn out good. Indeed, Imole Day in Osun State, like our senator will say.
Now,
back to what I was saying.
Yeah, back to the
you
issue
have
of
people
political
who
education.
go to, especially the older voters, the elderly, when they go to thumbprint, and if for any reason your thumb shakes.
Okay, just hold on. Babatude is back.
Yeah.
I think it was Babatude that was talking like a prophet. Babatude, I'm happy to have you back.
Thank you, sir. Now, as I was saying, in all these 7 polling units they are talking about.
Yes.
In the first place, for me, only one polling unit they supposed to have election on Thursday, not even 7.
Only one.
Only one, and the one from Osun State. The one of Osogbo, where card reader did not function well. Because you discover that in the other 6 polling units, elections were held. But elect officials cancelled these elections. So what you have cancelled, you cannot say what for example, you vomited the food yesterday, then today you want to eat it back. Is it possible? That is number one. Number two, now if they are going to do the election in all these 7 polling units, PDP should try their best to monitor them even as from now. Because I was told about 30 minutes ago that INEC officials are now giving government officials in Osun State PVC of these polling units where the election will take place on Thursday. And the security agencies, they should try to monitor what is happening in Osun State right now. So that because some group of people predicted that the crisis of 2019 will start from Osun State. And we don't want any crisis in Osun State. Osun State is the best state in Nigeria. There is no state like Osun State in Nigeria. There's no state.
We have those states too.
If they do mago or kangaroo on Thursday, I tell you, there will be problems.
Okay. I think
it is clear that people.
Babatunde, thank you for your contribution. I like your stand on so many issues, and I think PDP and other stakeholders should take note of your prophecy and take note of your counsel that there's need to really, I think, for vigilance. His thoughts aligns with the other speaker. Now, yes.
So my conclusion, it happens when people go to thumbprint, and for some reason it shifts from the line. You can't take that away from elderly people who, for some reason, are not able to firmly affix their thumbprint on the box.
Can I just give a little bit of enlightenment on this?
Go ahead.
In the 2015 general election, I was privileged to be among the 15 observers from both domestic and international observers who were allowed to observe the final collation center at the International Conference Center on the presidential election. To our amazement, the votes, the result that came from the northern part of the country, for instance, if 1,000 persons registered, almost 1,000 persons went for accreditation. Then if, for instance, 950 persons went for accreditation, 950 persons comes back to vote. No, that it was not voting immediately.
Yeah, you go
then
back.
Out of that 950 that voted, maybe either 2 or 3 or 5 votes will be voided. But when result was coming from the east, from the south, from the west, we saw a very big margin. For instance, let me take the east, which was the worst hit. If 1,000 persons registered in the east, only about 450 persons will come out for accreditation. Then out of that 450, about 300 or 250 are the ones who return to do the actual voting. Out of the 300 that voted, about 100, maybe 120, 150 votes were voided. It's like they just wasted the whole day. So, which means this political awareness, political education is done more in the north, because when you look at the country generally, we know that the north are more educationally disadvantaged. Why should this happen in Osun? That is the point. Now hold on. There's a caller from I think Ikechukwu from Lagos State. Ikechukwu, speak to us. Mr. Ikechukwu, you have the floor.
I'm with you, sir. Mr. Ikechukwu from Ikorodu, Lagos.
Yes, go on.
I just want to contribute. I was very, very happy when I saw the result.
Okay.
That shows that democracy has started working in Nigeria. So, but my advice to PDP is to be vigilant.
Okay.
For PDP to be vigilant and convince the whole Nigerians that this is democracy. This is what we're expecting to see in 2019.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Okechukwu. I do hope you have your PVC and you are getting ready for 2019 general election. Now, why we are saying this, that there's need for the people in the south, in the west, and in the East in particular, to educate the electorate more on how to vote. Not just, there's need to emphasize the need to go and vote, the need to go and collect PVC, and how to vote eventually so that you don't waste all the effort you made in registry, collecting your PVC, going to the polling unit to vote. I don't see why Osun, is Osun so educationally disadvantaged, Dr. Henry?
Well, we'll help you. Venerable. You know, I think you're forgetting that you're not on the pulpit.
No.
Okay, we'll help you.
Yeah.
You see, both of us have backgrounds in science. And until you scientifically prove something, we'll just be speculating. Northerners, the ballots, return ballots from the north, being more carefully printed and everything, is a discussion for another day.
I agree.
Somebody that participated actively in 2015 election has told us what was done even within the government house in Kano. Yes.
You know, sorry, Doctor, to cut you short. You know, to allude to what he just said, have we asked? Nigerians seem to have forgotten what happened in Kano in 2015. Soon after the election was declared, the home of the wreck of Kano, him and his family got burnt.
Yeah.
Till today, I don't know. I'm not aware of any inquiry into that. I'm not aware of any report from any such inquiry. The story of 2015, like he said, is a different matter.
No.
And you see,
I think we are missing the point.
See, the point you're making here is that the returned valid votes.
Yeah.
You referenced 2015 election, that there seemed to be a high percentage there had to be a very low percentage of voided vote from the north, and we have more from the south. That's why I said what happened in 2015 election, especially
hold on
the other divide. Yes,
Gineochi, we'll be missing the point, because what we are doing here is to sensitize people for 2000. Dr. Harry, get the point. Get the point. We are not talking about whether there was election manipulation in the north in 2000. Hold on.
Even if that observation is true.
Let me finish this point I'm trying to bring out. I'm an election observer. Yes. I have people in whether 2011, 2015, I have people deployed all over the country, giving me information, raw information about what is happening in Kano, in Sokoto, in Badagry, in any part of this very country. And I'm personally in the field. I was in Anambra to observe the election. See, in the north, you will not see youths playing football on the road on election day. You will not see them selling suya on election day. They close down their shop because they know that this is the time to determine who will be the next leader. So the point...
We will provide answers to that. One of them is simple.
Yeah.
That government works in this area. How does government work? From Niger State here, Suleja, every secondary school you see is government day secondary school, government science secondary school, government secondary school. The primary schools, LEA primary school, this government social school. It is not like that in the south. So why won't people pay more attention to this channel of blessing that is bringing the goodies?
Okay, now
I'm coming.
You are making
I am coming again.
Okay.
You go to the local government secretariats. Go and see the number of documented staff. Go and check whether anything happens at each local government secretariat in some of these areas you are mentioning. They go to their farms. On the payday, they come. Where is the channel of blessing? Government. So, What is happening in the South?
Dr. Henry, let
What is the average man or woman taking
let
from
me ask. Let me ask you another
Why would
question.
he leave his farm
This
and
is Christian.
everything
This
to
program.
go and-
This program
Yes.
attack Christians in
And we're looking
politics.
towards
Now,
2019.
and at a point, you were trying to castigate me, and you said I'm talking as if I'm on the pulpit. I didn't. Don't think I didn't hear you. I heard you. Now, has the church done enough?
Well,
to mobilize people
yes,
for 2019.
The church is trying. But you see, there is this thing, you know, from those biologists listening to me will know about the Pavlov theory. How to mobilize an organism towards good behavior is by doing things that are positive, incentivizing such action. The church is trying. But people are not seeing dividends of the so-called democracy. Go to it is, as I speak, it is difficult for me to go by road to Imo State from here. The road through Edo, thank God they're from
the
Edo.
last time I
Delta.
traveled, I lost my 4 tires.
Right from Lokoja to Okene to Ewu Junction. Last Sunday,
hell on
Ewu
earth.
was blocked.
It's hell on earth.
Before Isukwato, Lokwanta area, it is impassable.
Time is running too fast. I don't know whether it's because the topic is a hot one. Now, what can you advise Nigerians concerning 2019?
My advice to Nigerians is simple.
From the angle of preparation, mobilization.
Get your PVC. Get people around you to get their PVC. Get everybody you know to get their PVC. Use your PVC on election day. If you are my friend and you don't have a PVC, you have no right to discuss politics or discuss the government of the day with me. I make it clear in the group I belong to in church. If you don't have your PVC, you have no right to talk about what the government is doing. Get your PVC ready on election day, you vote, and make sure you are there to get the vote counted. The church must be part of this project.
But we are also emphasizing now that it's not just a question of get your PVC, vote on election. You must vote wisely, putting into consideration all that is happening.
You can't
in
go
your
and throw
local
away your
government,
vote.
your state,
the question I
and
ask
in the
people,
country.
what is your life today? Look back 4 years ago. Have you improved? Has circumstances around you improved?
Yeah.
Has the country been better? If the answer is yes or no, go and demonstrate your response on the election day.
On election day. Dr. Henry, what is your last word? And when you are telling me your last word, can you tell me what you want church to do between now and 2019 before you conclude? Quickly.
The church, I'm talking about the body of
Christ.
The Christians. Christians must unite. We are speaking in different tongues. That Tower of Babel approach has not helped us. What are we uniting for? To define what we need in leadership. It may not matter the congregation, but Christians must come to hate certain things.
Because we are the light of the world.
Good, sin of and salt of the earth. Corruption. Christians must say, no, we don't want it. And say, these are the things we call corruption. Even if it's our member, we say no. First of all, let me tell you, poverty has no friend or enemy.
No tribe.
Secondly, to the southern part of the country, youths don't obey parents. They don't obey village leaders. They don't obey anybody. Even in the church, youths now, some of them are disobedient to priests. Unlike what you see in the far north. The word of the emir is law. The word of the seriki in the village is law. Who are you to disobey the malam? After Friday's sermon, I said, go and do this, and you are not doing. They don't have sex. More even when they have sex, they don't play it. They are united. They are obedient. We too know from the south, it has not helped us. Finally, the church should not give up. Thank God for this leadership. Right from the primate to is extending to the dioceses, to the parishes. From late last year, I've been hearing, get your PVC, get your PVC, get your PVC. Now people have their PVCs and are selling their conscience through vote buying. What have we done? Have we really achieved anything? So that's why I say Christians must decide what they need.
So is vote buying against the will of God?
Yes.
I want you to define it. Is it against the will of God?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
If you say, there is my mind, is where I want to vote. He has been owing me since because he's not paying my salary. Now, though I still want to vote this way, but let me call that is bribery.
Okay, that is where we want to hold it for today. You know, in my area, they say when pounded yam is very sweet, the soup is not always enough. I think that's what has happened. This topic seems to, I mean, it's a hot one, and the time has not favored us. Our viewers, we want to thank you for being there. If you have not gotten your PVC, go and get your PVC. It's your power. And come 2019 general election, make sure you don't sit at home playing football only to complain after, or you did not go to the field, to the polling booth to vote. Then towards evening you are asking for the result. Which result? When you did not participate. You must participate. And when you go to the field, vote wisely. Don't allow somebody to buy your vote. Don't allow somebody to change your mind. Make up your mind before you leave your home, and make sure you vote wisely. We trust that God will give us responsible leaders, leaders that will take us away from this quagmire that we are in as a nation. So I thank you very much for being there for us, and I want to thank Engineer Uche Okoli for being with us. Engineer,
thank you.
I will bring you back
before
2019. Then you tell me how prepared is PDP, because PDP have been quarreling and quarreling. You will tell me about that.
Siblings disagree.
Okay, okay, Dr. Henry, thank you. So tell the siblings to reconcile.
Also, people love your state.
So viewers, that is where we round up for today. We hope to come your way next week. This is ACNN, Anglican Cable Network Nigeria, and I'm your host, Venerable J.O. Unwanya.
The views and opinions expressed on this program are those of the guests and viewers and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the Anglican Cable Network Nigeria, ACNN.